Angela, go ahead.
For a sexual 7 with 4 like me, how is the 8 or 9 gut type going to affect that gestalt?
Huge difference. The type right next to us, we're never similar. We're opposite. So what happens when the 7 and 4 come together, there's an automatic need for uniqueness and individuality coming from
Right.
the 4 and creativity. And the 7 has creativity as well. And they like what's unusual and kind of trending and new and novel. So when those come together, you already have a very intellectual person that wants to talk about all these variables. And then when you add the 8, it's triple creative. And you're just going to go by your own opinion because it might be creative problem solving, but you're going to innovate. You're going to find a new way of doing something. And that's why Naranjo called the 8 the solution master, because we're never going to give in and give up. We're going to try another solution, another solution, another solution. But the 4 is finding, okay, okay, that's common. I need to change that part and bring in a new piece that's uncommon. Like 4s often share with me they might have a favorite something, like a watch they inherited from their grandfather that was very unique, and then they see someone else with a modern version of that very same watch, and then they can't stand it to be their identifier anymore because it's like now it's common. I was with David at an airport once, and we had gotten this watch when we were in London, and we were shopping, and he just thought, yeah, this is me. Yeah, this is me. And then we were at the airport, and this guy that was built different and kind of had hairy arms, which is not a bad thing. It's just that not what David identified with. And then he never wore that watch again. And it's because it must mirror something about you. And not every type needs that, but the 4 does. So if you have the 9, you're more resistant in a hidden way. But the 4-7-9 is the most receptive, fairy-like, ethereal tritype of all. It's the 7 that's not going to be as assertive in the way they say things. They'll get around it and try to avoid it rather than just declaring it. I mean, that the 4-7-8 tries to get around things, but the 8 makes it so it's just being straightforward can seem like aggression, but it's not what the 8 means. They're just telling you what they think. So it's a huge difference in display. But they're both resistant because 9 and 8 are resistant. But how are you resistant? And what do you do with your resistance? And the 9 just doesn't budge, where that amplifies the 9-7 need for things to be positive. And the 8-4 needs to be emotional and significant and intense. There's an attraction to intensity. And the 8-7, well, it's got to be positive. Whereas the 7-9 is it's got to be easy. So less easy, more definite for the 4-7-8. 4-7-9 appears gentler. Not that they are, but it appears that way.
Okay. Well, like, I feel like I'm very direct about things, but I don't know that I'm like the solution master, but
yeah.
but
yeah. The 4-7-8 leading with 8 never gives up on solutions. And even if it takes you 4 hours straight, they keep going. Whereas the 7 will divert. If you lead with 7, you'll divert to something more pleasant and come back to it.
Okay, thank you.
But 7 is going to assert, but they're going to prefer to have things more comfortable and easy, especially if the 9's in there. There's a need for ease. So that's you can just check out and observe. Like, how quickly do you react? Now, if you have the 4,
pretty quickly.
Yeah, you have the 4 and 7, you're going. And what instinct you identify with?
Sexual.
Yeah. So but the sexual 7 is in love with love. So they kind of want things magical.
People would say that about me.
Whereas they're not as inclined to like the actual consummation. Not that they wouldn't like it, but it's more the excitement of discovery is the most attractive to the sexual 7 because it's more mental, it's more imaginary.
Yeah, I don't know that. Yeah, I don't know that that really fits. People have said a couple of things because I've struggled with this for a long time. And they've said, well, see, I don't have a problem being vulnerable. And they're like, okay, so you don't have an 8 fix. But I don't know if that's exclusive. And also I have a hard time letting go emotionally. And they said that's a 9 fix. But I'm very direct and assertive, and
Well, it's also sexual 4.
Yeah.
And so one thing I found in the research, like I had it all worked out that if you stacked your 3 types and you stacked your 3 instincts, all you'd have to do is look at the placements. So I would be sexual 8, self-pres 7, and social 4. I thought that's elegant, that'll be easy. But the research came back that the instinct was in charge of the whole thing. And the elegant response is there, but it's secondary. So you have to look at sexual 7, sexual 4, and sexual 9 or 8, whichever you are, and compare it that way.
Okay.
Because it's
Thank you.
A lot more dominant, by the way, not just a little.